Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Well, I'm sure you've heard before that eating healthy is so important to your health, but really why? Let's get specific. Let's go a little bit deeper into that. We're going to talk about that today and some of the things that you can change within your lifestyle to eat healthier. And she helps people with that all the time as a health and wellness coach. And she's back with us. Aarti Kumar is on the program. Welcome back, Aarti. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm proud of myself because I'm going to show you something. I have my lunch today, which is a salad of shredded chicken, lettuce, a little bit of cheese. What else is in there? A couple of some walnuts, some cranberries, and a light dressing, very light dressing. Doesn't happen often, but when I take the time, I think I'm doing well.
So perfect.
Yeah, trying. The only thing that's missing from that is carbs, because I'm looking at it and I guess if you count it, some of the croutons, there's not many in there as a carb. But I find that if I don't have enough carbs in a meal, then I start getting a little foggy, and then I have to just grab something as healthy as possible for a carb. But why don't we talk about that? If you're going to have a meal, how do you decide what percentage of carbs, I guess, starches and proteins that you should have?
So when I look at a plate for myself, I look at how many protein I have, how much protein, how much vitamins, minerals. It should look like more of a rainbow colors.
Okay. I never thought of it that way. So give me some examples. Like if I was looking at your plate right now, let's say you visualize one, what would it be looking like?
I would say there should be protein, carbs, fiber.
Okay. And then in terms of the color, how do you mean, in talking before about it looking like a rainbow, how would that look?
Should look like red. It should look like green. Okay. Like all the colors you can think of. It should be in your plate.
Okay.
That shows you have a lot of vitamins. That shows you have a lot of minerals, fiber in your plate. And yes, goes through your body, digest it nicely.
Okay. So now I'm seeing it like, so the more variety in the food would bring the more variety in the color of what you're looking at. And I guess, if I look at this here, there's a lot of color going on there. I don't know if you can see it on the camera,
I can see.
There's a lot.
I love that.
Yeah, there's a lot in there.
Mm-hmm.
So if we were to divide a plate up, and I don't even know if it's something we should do or could do, in terms of percentages, is there a way to determine, all right, well, here I have a plate, so maybe a third or a quarter of it's going to be protein, and another third or quarter is going to be carbs. Would it look like that?
Yes, it would.
Okay.
And for the protein part, you have to eliminate red meat.
Well, this conversation is now over. I'm kidding. Honestly, I hear that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you, when I was making that salad, I had some roast beef left over from last week, and I was going to include it, but then two things went into my mind. It's probably a little too old because I got it at the grocery store, and it's probably coming up on 7 or 8 days. And the other thing in the back of my mind was like, you probably shouldn't be putting more meat in there. So, and that's why I gravitated toward the chicken. So I hear that. Why is red meat so bad for you, or not the best for you?
Because it has a lot of fat in it. When you cook it, also it does not it has a lot of fat, unnecessary fat, and it's not good. And it, like those red meats have a high cholesterol, which bump your cholesterol levels up.
Yeah. Okay. That being said, we need cholesterol, right? We need some in our
Mm-hmm.
diet,
Mm-hmm.
right? What are, and there's always been, I think even since I was a kid, teenager, there's always been, watch out cholesterol, and they would scare us in marketing about cholesterol, how bad it is for you, but some of it, I guess, is good. How What are some of the things that have bad cholesterol that we should stay away from? Red meat being one of them. How about some other things?
Like French fries, for example.
Hmm.
It's high in carbs and high in fat. I know potatoes are good for you, like sometimes starchy, but when it's fried, it's not good.
Okay. All right. So honestly, I never even knew uh, that French fries would have cholesterol.
Yes.
Hmm. Is there a way to have French fries but less cholesterol? Is it just the certain oils that are used?
You can air fry it.
Okay. All right.
You can put little bit salt on the like when you cut up the potatoes. Just put little salt on it and air fry it for 10 minutes, and
Hmm.
it's so good like fried ones. Yes, like when it's fried, anything that is fried, it's not good for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And so basically what we're saying here is unless you air fry the French fries, they're just not good for you. There's
Yeah.
no way around it. Because I'm thinking, all right, well, what fast food restaurant? Okay. um, hmm. Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, that kind of ruins things, but it is, it's cholesterol. How about some other foods where the cholesterol is something we should stay away from?
I would say like you should stay away that, certain oils, like canola oil, those oils, vegetable oil, are not really good for you. You should really concentrate on avocado oil, olive oil, those kind of oil you need to concentrate on.
Okay. Gotcha. Um, Back to our plate. How about some suggestions of what that should be looking like?
So when I look at a plate, so I need to know how much protein, like, is it like I would say your half of a plate should be basically your protein
Oh,
because protein really stimulates your digestion. It keeps you not hungry because I recommend protein powder in a smoothie in the morning. That lasts you forever, like up to 1 or 2 in the afternoon. Um, so I see that. And then there should be some carbs like brown rice or something, 1/4 of your plate. And then 1/4 of your plate should be basically vegetables, all colors of vegetables I like to see.
gotcha. Okay. Have you heard this that you're not supposed to have? Well, we talked about red meat, so that's off the table in some regards, but that even if you have meat, red meat, um, that you're not supposed to have a starch with it, like a potato. I heard this from a nutritionist who said that if you mix the two of them together, it actually promotes the meat rotting in your stomach when you have that starch with the meat. I don't know if you've ever heard that, but it's just, I guess, another reason why you shouldn't be eating red meat.
Yes. So you should not combine the both. Because red meat has cholesterol. And if you're eating potatoes with it, it has cholesterol, carbs, and when it goes to your stomach, it will just do wonders.
Gotcha. Okay. So eating healthy, some other suggestions of things that we should be mindful of.
So being mindful is one thing. In the morning, you should have a good breakfast. a protein packed breakfast. I would usually, if you're on the go, I would recommend a protein powder smoothie in the morning. So with it, you can have an avocado toast or something goes with it, and it will last you for a while until your lunchtime. And then in between snacking, you don't have to do. And then for lunch, have something like mediocre, not too heavy, not too light, but mediocre. Like choose your breads, whole wheat bread. Choose probably a salad. So with it, so mediocre or a soup.
Okay. Yeah.
Soup and salad.
I always forget about soups. Maybe when it's a little warmer out, I'm sorry, when it's colder out, it's more on my mind. But you did remind me about doing a smoothie even for breakfast. When I remember, I love making them. And it's so easy. If you have, I use it, it's called a magic bullet. Very simple. It's a mini blender. Just throwing in 1 scoop of protein powder. I throw in some ice in there, maybe some almond milk. I'll throw in some fruit, maybe a banana to sweeten it up a little bit, but not even a full banana because it's got a lot of natural sugar. Throwing some strawberries in there, whatever it might be. But it's so simple and so delicious, and you're getting everything. Now you're getting fruit. Now you're getting the protein. And it feels like a treat. It really does. Yeah. How do you, when you make your smoothies, how do you make them?
So what I do is I put 2 scoops of protein powder. I put almond milk. I actually put spinach, avocado, 1/4 of avocado. I mean, like 2-3 bites of avocado, and to make it a smooth shake. And if you want some like caffeine in it, like morning caffeine, you can put matcha or coffee powder to make it, like kind of your coffee in the morning.
I never thought of that. So when we say coffee powder, are you putting coffee in there, or is it some kind of coffee powder flavoring or something like that?
Either way, flavoring or instant coffee you can put.
Well, didn't even think of that. So, wow. All right. And they mix so many things with coffee, with mocha and all these different, flavors. And I never thought about putting spinach in there. Wow. And spinach has a little bit of protein. It's leafy. It's great fiber. Interesting.
It's versatile.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. How about some other thoughts you have on what we can do to eat healthy?
So for breakfast ideas, avocado toast, almond, almond butter toast. I would say eggs, smoothies for breakfast, and then lunch have like anything, salad, sandwiches, veggie sandwich, chicken sandwich, but make sure the chicken is grilled, air fried, or stir fried, not fried chicken.
Yeah. I don't eat fried chicken ever. I just don't. I got off of it. The only time I ever will is if I go for chicken wings and they're prepared that way and it's just kind of a treat, but I try to not have that too often. But grilled chicken to me, more times than not, just tastes so much better. If it's done right, maybe a little bit of seasoning, it tastes amazing. And it's so much better for you than having fried chicken.
Right. It's more healthier. And when you put good food in your stomach, you feel good about yourself emotionally, physically, and you feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
If you don't put good stuff in your body, you feel so lazy, like you want to just sleep whole day.
Yeah. Yep. It's totally true. If I have, I've, go for chicken wings, let's just say,
Mhm.
the next day I'm feeling kind of lethargic, can't really focus as much. Happened last Thursday. There was a wing special during a game, went with my friend. It was delicious, but the next day, I woke up like, and I eat late too. Let's talk about that. The times that
Mm.
you're supposed to eat. Now we're all on different schedules, and you know, one thing may not be the best for somebody else, but how much close to bedtime should you eat or not eat? And so how about your schedule during the day? Should you even think about eating more smaller meals or stick with the big three with maybe a snack of fruit in between?
I would say you should concentrate on 4, 4, and 12, intermittent fasting. So I would say have your breakfast 8 or 9 o'clock, 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, or 10 o'clock too, that's fine. And then have 4 hours from that, your lunch. So it could be 12, 1 or 2. And then dinner, it should be by 6. It should be done. If you go to bed by 9, because it needs to have time to digest.
Okay.
If you're too full and you sleep, you're like, next morning, you're so tired, that is not good. I mean, like your day is wasted. I would recommend have dinner by 6 or 6:30 and take a walk after dinner with your family or by yourself. Take a walk for 20, 30 minutes and, let the food digest.
Hmm. I went for a walk today, first time in a long time. And I have to tell you, I think my food digested better. And I'm not even just saying that. It just it felt better.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of eating and then just going and sitting down or not even moving. Yeah, it is, just even a little bit of movement helps your digestion, right? From start to finish, if you will.
Yes, like I would say the last bite, when you take a last bite, you should be energized that you're 80% full. There's a Japanese saying, hibachi, like, you should, yes, have 80% fullness in your stomach. So when you are like almost full, saying to yourself, oh, I can take one more bite, but but my stomach is saying, I'm fine. You should stop then.
Yeah. And that's a really good point. Eating slow enough that your stomach sends the signal that you're done. Because many
Mm-hmm.
times we eat so fast that we've eaten too much. We don't really need that much.
Right.
I've gotten in the habit over the years of realizing that it's if you're in the habit of eating less, you'll continue to eat less. If you eat more, you always want to get to that certain point of that feeling of fullness. Yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
done. But that doesn't mean that you needed to eat all of that, you know?
Yes.
And same thing with restaurants nowadays. A lot of them give you big portions. Doesn't mean you have to eat all of it. You can take some of it home, even if you get a hero or a sandwich or something like that. They cut it in half. Eat one half, have the other half later. Make it another
Yeah.
meal.
So, for example, when you eat out, make sure take half of it at home. I actually ask for a take home box
Yeah.
before the meal starts.
Oh wow.
So I kind of cut in half and I put rest for take home and rest for myself at that time.
Hmm. You know what, Artie? It's almost like the mindset, and you're setting
Mm-hmm.
you're setting the intention before you even started the meal, in knowing that I'm not going to finish all of it because I have the container right here, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking that home. And look at the money you're saving. That could be another meal,
Yeah, like,
right?
next day's meal.
Sure.
That's perfect. I mean, like, eating out, you have to be very mindful.
Yeah.
Because some restaurants, they give you like two proportions of meals practically. And I recommend when you eat out, ask for a to-go box and have your meal, pack it away and you won't see it. Yes, put it next to you.
I like that idea, asking for the container before you start. Because you're already setting the stage for taking it home. Okay. So we're talking about food here. How about beverages, liquids, things like that? I know that, we've talked about hydration before. Let's go a little bit deeper in that because I believe that many of us are dehydrated.
We are like, water is a must during the day. You should have at least 6 to 8 glasses of water. That's a must. And keep away from sodas. You can do, if you like carbonation, sparkling water is good. La Coke is good. But carbonation, any form of carbonation is not good for you.
And why is that? Even seltzer water?
That is okay some at times.
Okay. Like if it doesn't have any calories or just a natural flavor like a lemon or something like that, is that okay for you even though it's carbonated?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh I also wonder if you have that carbonate like seltzer water, no soda, and even diet soda, not good because I heard that it can it can stimulate you to eat.
Yes, it does.
Hmm.
If you realize, when you have carbonation during a meal, you tend to eat more. Like, oh, you have Pepsi next to you, you're enjoying the meal so much, you're enjoying the Pepsi too. So it's like 2 in 1 wrong things.
Yeah. Okay. How about alcohol?
Alcohol, you should avoid that, of course. But if you want, like, have 1 or 2 drinks per week for, yes, something stressful happened at work, that's fine. But beyond 2 drinks, I would say that's a no-no.
Okay, so in a period of how much time and how many drinks would be acceptable, but no more? What are we saying here?
1 or 2 drinks per week.
Per week. Okay. Yeah. A lot of people won't be happy with that, but the more and more I read about it and the more health professionals all say that, alcohol is really not that good. Even when you hear those studies that say that,
Mhm.
glass of wine a day is good for your heart and things like that, overall, it's probably not the best thing for you.
Right.
Mhm.
Yes, it's not. And
Uh,
if you're like a heavy drinker, or even a mediocre drinker, I would recommend try to decrease it slowly, like baby steps.
hmm.
If you have 4 drinks, next time have it 3.5. So try to decrease it like baby steps because nothing will happens overnight.
Yeah. And you know what I've noticed too? I've
Mhm.
had, let's say, go out with friends, have some wings, have a couple of beers. I never have more than two. Um, then I go home and I go to sleep. I wake up in the middle of the night and I just don't feel right. And it's more about the hydration because I didn't drink water with it, and alcohol dehydrates you. And I really
Mhm.
think I'm waking up dehydrated. Even though that was they've always said like, how could it be I drank so much, but I'm still thirsty? If you're drinking alcohol because you're not getting um, enough hydration from that because it just leaves your system. Yeah.
Right.
Lots of lots of great tips today. Artie, how do we find you? I know that you have different programs. You work with people on changing their their eating habits and their lifestyle. If somebody just wants to start the conversation, how do they find you?
You can go to my website, aartikkumar.com. It's AARTIKKUMAR.com. Or you can just call me anytime, 678-230-3779.
Lots of great tips today. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm having a smoothie for breakfast tomorrow morning and actually looking forward to it. I totally forgot about it. It's like I usually have one on the weekend because I'm not home during the day and it's like a treat, but you can have it for breakfast and be eating something good. So thanks for all the tips today and look forward next time we talk.
Yes, me too.
Thank you.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.